Thank you. I'm going to tell you a story about a little boy named Alen. Alen lived in a beautiful country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and he was a 13 years old boy. Alen had a backpack that he carried wherever he went. Alen had a great desire to play with his friends, and whenever he tried to get close to the children, his backpack would start making noise and carrying it would become uncomfortable. If Alen tried to ignore his backpack, a monster would start coming out of it, making scary sounds, forcing Alen to move away from his friends. Alen felt comfortable when there was no monster around, and he decided not to go near the children anymore. The decision to move away from his friends came at a price. The price was not having friends anymore due to the fear of the monster. Alen wasn't sure was he willing to pay such a high price, because he knew it is very important for him to have friends. So one day he decided to join the play with his friends regardless of the monster. He exclaimed, "I've had enough of being afraid of you." Along with his backpack, he joined his friends and he started playing. He understood that we all have fears and worries which we carry in our backpacks. But doing what makes us happy is still very important. For Alen, that was to be with his friends and play. Now let me ask you, can you imagine how heavy are the monsters in the child's backpack? And do you know what are the monsters in the backpack? The monsters are the different kind of negative emotions that children experience daily, but predominantly while they are in school. Alan's monster was anxiety. Another person's monster is fear. Some people carry anger in their backpacks. According to the Harvard Gazette, a series of health surveys conducted between 1999 and 2017 revealed that physical health of children and young people throughout those years gradually improved, while their mental health declined. These medical surveys have shown small but statistically significant increase in the level of emotional disorders, in particular anxiety and depression. Did you know that 1 out of 10 children has been diagnosed with an anxiety disorder? These are Center for Disease Control statistics for the period 2016-2019. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit us, we can say that we were all in the same storm, but we were not all in the same boat. That made a huge difference. With the emergence of the coronavirus and the outbreak of the pandemic, stabilization of the epidemiological situation was a priority, and less attention was focused on the prevention of psychological consequences of the pandemic, especially on children and adolescents. Corona and COVID made life less predictable, which led to increase in the feelings of fear and anxiety among children and adults as well. Isolation and reduction of the social contacts have significantly increased level of the acute stress among children, making them very vulnerable. According to the CDC statistics, 1 out of 3 high school students experienced poor mental health during the pandemic. This is because children, as a very vulnerable population, experience more psychological difficulties than adults, and they need our help to develop psychological resilience. So if you love children, if you are a school teacher, a parent, or any other professional working with children and adolescents, then you, me, all of us should learn more about their mental health well-being. I'm personally very connected to this topic because I'm a mother of a boy with an anxiety. I am also wife of great and experienced psychiatrist who helps many adults with an anxiety disorder. So in our home in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we often talk about our reality in which mental health is still a taboo topic. Seeking help for mental health issues is the last thing many people will do, even after they tried everything else, including traveling to the monastery for healing. On a weekly basis, I personally work with children and adolescents, and I can recognize how anxious they feel, especially in the school environment, in front of the school teachers and their classmates. Children feel helpless, inadequate, and frustrated. So the question is what we can do about it. Let's start by remembering wise words of Paulo Coelho, who said that all stress, anxiety, and depression is caused when we ignore who we are and start living to please the others. We can do so many things, but we need to raise awareness, we need to remove prejudices and stigma surrounding mental health. There are many other things that we can do, but first we need to acknowledge that the problem of 1 in 10 children diagnosed with an anxiety disorder is our problem as well. In many developed countries, taking care about mental health is equally important as taking care about physical health. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, that is not the case, and that's far away from our reality. But if we start raising awareness among school teachers, students, parents, we are creating conditions for the new generations to be brought up without stigma surrounding the mental health. We need to let our children know that it is okay to be sad, to be feeling down, and to ask for help when they are not okay. We must start demanding that every child and young person has access to psychological or psychiatric help if and when needed. And for the end, let's all remember to look at our child's backpack to make sure it is a happy one and that there are no monsters in it. Thank you.